Alrighty. How you guys doing? Just macro of an update about the continued use of this drug, man. You know, I always tell myself that I'm not against taking drugs, but I prefer to take drugs that actually aren't addictive and most likely aren't um, against the law or something that's just not very uh, beneficial in the long run. It's more of a health incentive. Smoking most likely would be very good, but the thing about smoking is that it does the same thing as these supplements do. Increases dopamine levels and promotes GABA. So why not just take the supplements and get the benefit that you get from smoking? People prefer to smoke. I don't know. It's an addiction. That's what that is. So, a little update. I drank a shitload of muscle milk right before bed, and immediately I felt like I was tired. I started yawning. Oh. And then I fell asleep. I don't know exactly how long I slept. It seems to me I woke up around 8 o'clock, so it was like 1 o'clock when I took the stuff. I got about 7 hours. And I took some muscle milk this morning, and it's giving me similar benefit right now. It's just taking taking you and just dialing you back, your personality or your whole mental state. It's just dialed back. I can sit down and just stare into space. I couldn't do that yesterday. Yesterday I would have been like, oh my god, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta think about this. No, nothing's really immediate right now. Hell, I'll do nothing for the whole day if I want to. That's what's great about it. The head tension is still there. Um, that's usually just because you don't jerk off, and that jerking off releases endorphins and that dopamine and serotonin and stuff like that. So when your brain is so addicted to that stuff, and you suddenly stop jerking off and you don't release it anymore, your brain says where to go, and of course you feel the way you do. But so far, the GABA stuff is able to relieve not only stress and anxiety, but pain. So the pain that I used to feel all the time in my head from not having enough of the good stuff in there is now it's like a knife that's been dulled. It's a blunt knife. It's not sharp. The pain isn't sharp anymore. That's magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. And it's still percolating. My body hasn't even digested fully everything yet. Because you know how it is. The way this muscle milk works is that it digests slowly so that it continues to provide all the nutrients. So it's going to take quite a while for it to fully go through. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to get real deal 100% GABA tablets that are just going to just whoosh, go right into the brain and feed the need for speed right there. And this is the stuff I've been looking for. You know, all these guys doing school shootings, all these kids having ADHD, all this stuff could be probably solved if if they put GABA into their system. Because that's what probably is why when you're a kid you're so mellow and you can just relax and not worry about nothing. You got ample GABA in your system and endorphins, so childhood is like that, and then your sex drive starts up, and that's when your brain goes crazy, and it's not easy. But I figured it out, through accident. It's sad, really. It shouldn't be this way. Everybody should just be like, all right, here's what you have to do. If you have this problem, anxiety, and you're overstressed, and you can't sleep, the biggest thing you can do is get sleep. Above everything else. Even if you have brain damage, you still need goddamn sleep. And I didn't get enough sleep, so, and if I have the reason for that now. So, thing I'm gonna do is see if this thing's working for real, real. I know it's working, but I need to do this for at least a couple of weeks. Then I'll know for sure if it's actually really working. And then I'll be like, wow, this is not a bad thing. Alright? This is definitely a change of pace for me. I'm waiting for the call from Best Buy. I don't think they're gonna call, but I believe maybe they will, because I told them I live right next door. I didn't ace the interview, but ultimately, when they think about who can show up on time versus the other guy who has to drive there, spend money to drive, who are they gonna pick? You know, I hope that makes something of a sense to them. But I did better on that last interview, and they didn't pick me. I did worse this time, and then they have to figure out who to pick to call and choose to come back for a third interview. And hopefully, I can definitely work a job now when I got this supplement working in my head. This is what you need in life, you know. If you don't have to deal with a rigorous job, just take a supplement like this, and it'll calm you down. You don't get angry and crazy over the job. Me, I want to just work a job, do the job right, and leave. I don't want to go there and get in the bullshit with other workers and shit. Like they want to start something with you because that's their whole life. They live at that job. I've seen guys take showers at Delta Airlines terminal. They live there. That's it. They fly, they lift bags, and they live and breathe the job. So some of them guys is actually absolutely out of their minds. And you know, when you're doing the job, you can do the job perfect all day and night. They'll treat you like you just started. You know, you're a fucking veteran. You've been doing the job for months and months. They treat you like you just came, because that's their whole career. You don't get it. These are black people who are, licking the white man's butt cheeks for money, and they know that they're not adequately educated to go do anything else. So that leads to a lot of friction with you, and they see you're younger and you got potential. They want to take you down. They want to beat you up. Most of the guys aren't like that, but some of the guys there, they want to take me down because I'm not the super elite, awesomest black guy ever, or some bullshit like that. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I don't, I have never had a girlfriend. That's it. That's all there is to me. I'm not going to do anything of extraordinary amount of anything with my life. Too bad. What can you say? So, um, we're gonna get to this thing. If Best Buy don't call, I'm hopefully gonna get back into Delta again and just roll with that for a while, because I know they're gonna need people at Terminal 4. Yeah, like I say, if you're just if you got two arms and your muscles are good enough, and you know about GABA and all these different supplements that help you get through the day, by all means apply for Delta Ramp at Terminal 4 JFK. They have openings now, and the job will suck. You will do flights in the rain. You will do flights in the snow. But overall, you can't beat being able to go to Hawaii. You and your girlfriend go to Hawaii, have a nice vacation over there. And if you're lucky, you go into the DCI section. DCI is where you will not be dealing with heavy flights. So that's a retirement home, man. That's the place everybody goes to when you say I'm done. I don't want to do any more fucking ridiculous flights, and you just chilling over there. Biggest mistake I ever made, and I regret it, is just saying I'm out of Delta. I'm gonna go to TSA. I'm gonna make the big bucks. You know, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with my life, that kind of thing. So I know what I want to do now. I want to go back to Delta fucking Airlines. I want to work the ramp for a little while. Then I want to say, okay, let me get to the ticket side of things, and I'm gonna do tickets and make a career out of that if possible, while going to get a pilot's license. And then eventually, since I'm already clean cut with Delta, I say, let me do the pilot thing, and maybe that'll help. That'll work out. I don't know. Be a pilot is a dream. I know how the process works inside and out. They just come in from wherever they are. in their nice little hotel room, and they fly the plane. It's simple as that. A bunch of little dime a dozen throwaway $11 an hour workers take care of all the heavy lifting. A pilot comes in, sits down, drinks a cup of coffee, and flies the plane. Every single time. They just do the pre-flight check, make sure the wings are attached, and they're gone. You know, you can't beat that. If I can put myself into that position, all the better. You know, I can definitely handle college now. I didn't have what it took before, but I don't want to go to college. I want to get my fucking flight license. You know, fly planes, live my life, fly planes. Period. And by all goddamn means under heaven, I must get to that point. I don't know why anybody wants you to go study a bunch of psychology, uh, fucking trigonometry, and whatever else kind of mathematics and shit that has, you know, I don't care. As long as it's got to do with flight dynamics, aerodynamics, anything that has to do with keeping an aircraft aloft, I'll study it night and day. And ultimately, the multitude of historical occurrences in which a pilot has to figure out how to land a plane that's damaged, you know, and, all those things that those pilots typically, look. I've seen pilots who are just sitting there studying weather and shit like that. These guys are really, really like fucking happy, man. They got the job that they dreamed of all their life as a child, and they're doing it. They're sitting there, they're studying weather patterns, trying to figure out the route that they're gonna take on the flight that they're gonna do today. You know, so it's something I gotta try to get to. I mean, me and the pilots are mad cool. We mad cool. I would talk to them all the time. You know, they're just cowboys. They know that they have a serious job. It's like, but they're respectful of each other. When you're working a ramp, you're working with people who are just stupid and they hate their job. When you're a pilot, you're working with people who are intelligent and they love their job. It's two different sides of the tracks. You know, that respect that these guys have for their job lends itself to a much more civilized uh, rapport between them, and that's what you get there. So if you're looking for that, yeah, definitely go for that instead of trying to go through the blue collar level stuff. Uh, I mean, it's not about being a pussy and not being able to handle somebody. It's just, you just lifted fucking tons and tons of luggage and you're agonizing and your body's just aching. And then you have a guy ripping into you mentally and physically. They will physically beat you up on the ramp and stuff like that. It's just stupid. We're all here to do a good job and enjoy the flight privilege. Hopefully get away with not doing as much doing crazy work. And of course, the thing that's truly fucked up, Delta is non-union. So you can't you truly are just a piece of shit throwaway employee to the people up top. They're keeping you fed, they're keeping you clothed, and that's it. They don't care about you. So why do you give so much of a damn about the welfare of Delta Airlines? If they downsize and they're just a business, you know, they throw their hands in the air and say we can't have this many employees, they will fire you, and you can't fight it. So I can't imagine. Half of the guys that work there are really just laid back. The only thing they're worried about is if they fuck it up and the plane falls out of the sky. That's it. Other than that, they don't give a damn about things being done precisely and excellently, and they don't want to impress anybody. It's just a stupid job they have to get over with, and then going back to flying all over the world. Other guys are just they got this idea in their head that they are the pilot. They're just immature retards. I think that the goddamn Delta Airlines will fall apart if they don't act like they own the company, and they're just a pain in the ass. I go to work and I do as minimal as I freaking can to get through the day, and then I fly. That's it. And that's what Delta cares about. They care about the thing getting done, and that's it. They don't give a damn about me. They're not gonna glue. They're gonna turn that fucking like I, you know. I see the executive walking around pretending to care about the little guy at the bottom of the company. It's all bullshit. He does not care. You know. They used to pay ramp agents 20 something dollars an hour, enough so you can afford an apartment. Cause it's an elite class company you're working for. You're not working for fucking Starbucks and McDonald's. You're working for a super elite class company. They've dwindled it down to $11 an hour. Hired a bunch of black people, and because this is just throwaway job, it's not that not that serious, you know. This, these guys sitting at the top of the company are trying to figure out ways how they can cut the price in half and continue to operate just as well as they did decades ago. And that's exactly what's going on. They're trying to get away with murder. And of course, these guys working the ramp don't care. They never thought, oh my God, I'll be able to fly all over the world at a moment's notice. So they think to themselves they've succeeded. And that's what's going on. And they're trying to do the same thing with pilots now. They're trying to throw the pilot under the bus and pay him shit money, cut his pay in half, and then have him do like same flights or even more flights. And the pilot organizations around the world are seriously like pissed off about it because this is not the way you treat somebody who's having to do this kind of job. The problem is that flying planes has become so routine and so, you know, technically it's the safest, still the safest way to travel that, you know, these guys sitting at top of these companies don't really worry about paying pilots the best money so that they can operate well and care about the job well, you know, because they know that it's like the probability of the aircraft getting damaged and falling out of the sky is very slim, you know. And they've even thought about having every flight be controlled by computer because it really is the plane. The plane can take off by computer, the plane can fly by computer, and only thing the pilot does is land it because that's still a little tricky. It can land too by computer. It's just that you need that extra human touch to make the landing nice and cool and smooth. So, but they're thinking about it. Why don't we just eliminate the pilot altogether? But then they realized, well, you know, what if act of God something happens and there's nobody there to fly the plane when the computer dies, goes down? Of course, one wonders. You know, there's a computer that's like controlling everything right now. All the systems, all the grids, all the electrical systems are all controlled by a computer, and the computer hasn't failed. It hasn't done any. You know, somebody maintains it, makes sure it continues to work, and then it does. It doesn't sleep. It doesn't eat. It just does the job every single time. So it would make it does it you know when you really think about it, a computer flying a plane with a pilot monitoring it, just sitting in the cockpit, maybe one guy instead of having two. The thing is, they have two pilots because one pilot might have a heart attack and die, and they have the other one there to fly the plane. What they're thinking about is doing is like they're trying to say, okay, let's train the stewardess to fly the plane, and then the computer flies the plane, and then if the computer fails for whatever reason, the stewardess jumps in there and handles the situation. Wouldn't that be ridiculous? You train to be a stewardess and you go through flight training at the same time. No stewardess knows how to fly a plane unless they've actually sat down with the pilot, you know, after a long flight and the pilot says, okay, this is how you fly it. Not that hard. It's like fucking driving a car, you know, pedals here. And the stewardess like, okay. I'm pretty sure that happens a lot, you know. I went up into the plane one time and the stewardess and the pilot were just hanging out. You know, I'm pretty sure they talk all the time about what the hell flying a plane would actually entail. And I should ask that. When you see pilots all the time, you should probably get into talking to them about flying planes because you're not gonna figure out, I mean, how to fly a plane anywhere else. Just talking to someone who knows how to do it. So that's crazy though. Flying is a crazy and amazing thing. It's just they've corporatized it. But anyway, I'm done, yo. See you on the flip side.